So I'm here today with my special guest, beautiful Miriam.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about Miriam's dating life. So we have a bunch of questions and we're just going to randomly draw and
It'll be fun.
go from there.
All right. Go for the first question. You want to read it?
What is your preferred method of hair removal?
What?
What? I'm kidding. What have you learned about yourself over the course of dating? This is a deep question.
Yeah, that is a deep question. That's a good question. I think what I've learned most is to make sure that no one can make you happy. At the end of the day, it's only you who
Yeah.
make you happy. That's whether you're single or married or whatever your situation is. So at the end of the day, you're responsible for being happy in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
That includes if you're single, if you're married, or whatever the situation is. Just be happy, and that's your responsibility.
There's no key to happiness and unlocking the dream.
Yeah, someone won't make you happy. You have to be happy with who you are.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. All right,
Great.
are
Go
we
for
ready?
Yeah, number 2. Okay, there you go.
Oh, I think you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
What's the worst date you've been on?
Good question. So I have met a lot of guys online, and I have met some great guys online, but one particular date comes back to me a few years back. So I went to the date, and unfortunately things were a bit off.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the height he had said.
Okay.
His picture was from a few years back, so he looked different than his picture. And his career and car situation were off, so I kept it short and never looked back.
So he basically was trying to give you the best version of himself.
Yeah, which didn't exist. So it's best to, sometimes unfortunately it happens.
Okay.
But yeah, I never
Yeah.
looked back. Okay. Question number 3.
All right. So, what do you look for in a man?
It's a good question. I have been over the years, thought about it obviously, but before I used to be more thinking of all the qualities, tall, dark, handsome, but that's unfortunately more superficial, and that won't really make me happy at the end of the day. So it's more about the qualities that the experiences, and basically the experiences and what he can provide to our relationship, like faith,
Mm-hmm.
family, fun, those more things.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
3 F's. Yeah, great. Okay. So before you felt it was more focused on the physical, like if you had now a man who was slightly shorter,
Or
would
not,
that be a deal breaker?
or not necessarily, or like he had to have a certain income or something
Yeah.
like that. So a bit more superficial, not really getting to know who they truly are and who they are as a person, and not just what they can appear on paper. Okay, I guess number 4. Okay, there we go.
Okay, thank you. So how do you envision your ideal partner?
Good question. So that kind of relates to what we just talked about. So once again, I used to
Nice lead-in.
envision tall, dark, and handsome. But yeah, now I don't know. It's kind of up to God, and as long as obviously if they're Christian and they want to build a family together, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so what's your ideal number of kids? 10?
No,
5?
3 would be my ideal.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, they can all fit in a car.
Okay, yeah, very practical.
Okay. Number, what is it, 6, 5?
Yeah, you're right. 5.
Okay.
So what is it that you most desire from married life? I guess this is kind of
All related.
yeah.
We'll pick another question, or
It depends if you want to answer it.
yeah, for married life, I think every marriage has its ups and downs, and you have to go you have to learn and grow as a couple. So it's hard. I don't really think of it that much. It's more it's once you get to that point, I'll figure it out. But yeah, there's ups and downs in every situation.
Okay. Thank you. So continue.
Okay.
So what's the toughest thing about not having a partner?
Sometimes you can feel a little alone and by yourself. especially if you go maybe to like a wedding and everyone's coupled up. You can feel all alone. And you're the last one who's single. But at the end of the day, like God is always with us, so we're never alone. And so it's just part of the journey.
Yeah, it is definitely tough. You kind of see a lot of people getting married in their 20s, and then you want to get hitched, and there can be a strong desire to, be in a relationship, just not to be the odd one out. But at the end of the day, I mean, you may not be the youngest to be married, but you might be one of the happiest. And I think that's what's most important too, because you've probably at some point had the opportunity to settle, and you're just like, it's not right. And
it's not it's not a race at the end of the day. Some people, for different reasons, can be very happily married when they're young, but others can maybe not be so happily married. So it's all about finding the right person for you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, what dating strategies do you plan to adopt in the future?
So dating strategies. So I would say just keep meeting new people, creating opportunities to meet new people, and it's only by meeting people do you get to know whether or not it will work or not. Obviously, if you try and, as a Christian, try and put yourself in Christian scenarios to find like-minded people. So try and be a bit more strategic on where you go and what you do. But just trying to keep putting yourself out there, and also just praying, because ultimately I don't have much control, and I can do my part, and hopefully God does the rest.
Yeah, great.
Okay. Next question.
So, what is one challenge you have encountered in your recent dating life?
One challenge I've encountered. Well, I guess kind of going back, dating life. Well, sometimes everyone, as I can say, they look good on paper, but once you meet them in person, it's a little bit different, or different challenges just with location of where they may be located, where they are in their goals in life. You may be on completely different ends. Someone just wants to be single and a bachelor for the rest of their life, or if they want to have a family. So overcoming those challenges and just figuring out who's aligned with what you want.
And is it a deal breaker for you if they're international, like if they're from, say, the States?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What about if they're willing to fly you in, that sort of thing? Would that still be?
Only if they're willing to move to Canada. So
okay.
Yeah, if they're willing to move to Canada, I'll be open to it. But if not, my parents moved back from the U.S. and it would not go well if I were to ever move there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. And so, do you find that maybe some people just don't know what it is they're seeking, right? So on paper, they're saying what they think they want, but at the end of the day, maybe they don't really know what it is they want, or what do you think the reason for that discrepancy between kind of what they're saying and then kind of what they're really actually wanting?
Some people might say they want a relationship, but they really aren't ready for a relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe different pressures around them, or maybe insecurities. People feel like they want a relationship, but they have to. Maybe they're not quite at the level where they can be emotionally. So it's all we all learn together. But sometimes we may not be quite ready, or
it's financial too for some men. That's what I found, is that they have to build up a certain amount of wealth because of ideas built up about the traditional breadwinner, which is a good thing in some ways, that they want to provide to and for the woman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's an issue because if they're saying, well, I have to be 35 before I could, settle down, you have to wait 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And, there's no saying that things aren't going to fall apart prior. So I think it is definitely financial, but then there are also, like you said, the emotional, maturity. Are they mature enough to have a relationship? And also career. Are they really career focused? Because I found in my experience, some people have been I need to finish residency. I need to get a stable job. And maybe that's been one of my issues, is that I've dated people who weren't settled. So
I think that is a good point. So I think one of the lessons I've learned is a guy doesn't have to be an amazing job. It can just be a regular day-to-day job. But yeah, they do have to feel some sort of stability in their life so that guys can feel like they can provide to a relationship and be confident. Otherwise, they feel a little bit of insecurity and instability because it's just in their DNA to want to provide for their girlfriend or their spouse, and so they don't have to have six-figure income, but they have to have like a steady job so they can feel like they can contribute. And if they can't, then they're most likely not ready in a position to be able to be in a relationship. Yeah.
So commitment and kind of where they are in their career and whatnot, that does affect, right, their readiness for relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Okay.
All right, I guess maybe like 2 more questions or something.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think of the current dating scene? This is a good one. I like this one.
Dating scene, yeah. So it's fun. It's obviously we live in the swipe left, swipe right world. So it's a little bit superficial, unfortunately, but it also gives you the opportunity to meet more people, especially online. So which may have been not possible a few years back. So you have to take the good with the bad. Kind of do a lot of screening through sometimes and meeting a lot of people, unfortunately. It's just you'd have to take the good with the bad. You can meet more people, but it can be quite superficial too.
Yeah, definitely. It is kind of based on appearances very heavily, and I guess people would argue, like, what is the difference between maybe traditional dating and online dating?
Yeah, like it's just a way to meet people. I would prefer to meet someone in person, but I have also met some great people online. So we've just developed friendships. Yeah, it's just an opportunity to meet new people, and it's just kind of the way of the future, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully some people obviously still meet in person.
Yeah, definitely. And is there any place you think you would have more of a chance of meeting somebody in person?
Yeah, if there's like you go to like dances or different places where there may be single available men. Yeah, so.
Okay. So awesome. Yeah. Do you want to do one more?
Okay, we'll do one more. Okay.
Okay. Great. So what's the best date you've been on? This is a good note to end on. Positive.
Best date. Yeah, I've been on some really great dates. Obviously, in the past, I'd be a bit more about the feelings and the emotions, see if you feel that chemistry and attraction to the person. But that doesn't actually translate into long term. So now I just try and keep more of an open mind and see if obviously we're both Christian, if we're aligned with our goals and values, and go from there. But yeah, usually like tea, coffee, dinner, walk. Those are some common things.
Yes, and the conductor's hat. Okay, yeah. So is there anything else you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, just be happy with who you are. You are, just make the most of your life. Live your life now. Don't wait for someone to come along and magically make your world all happy. You are your own person, and that's your responsibility, and make the most of it. It's your life. You only live once, so, and then who knows what can happen.
Great. Yeah, so there's no magic lamp for love, I guess.
No.
Okay. All right, well, thank you very much, Miriam, for coming on my channel.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And bye, everyone.
Bye.